From Fall Out Boy and Avenged Sevenfold to secret sets and surprise collabs, these were the 10 biggest moments of Download Festival 2024. The annual celebration of rock and metal once again returns to the famous ground of Donington Park with another epic 3-day lineup of some of the biggest names in music. Among the headliners were Fall Out Boy, who delivered a career-spanning set that was arguably one of their best ever, beginning with Chicago Is So 2 years ago and Grand Theft Autumn, before moving through every album era, complete with outfit changes, a few deep cuts, and very impressive production values, culminating in Pete Wentz flying away on balloons during an unstoppable run-through of Saturday. Elsewhere, making their Download debut were Busted, the UK pop-punk trio playing to an absolutely rammed tent for one of the most talked-about sets of the weekend. We caught up with the guys ahead of their performance to hear about how they were preparing.
I think the greatest testament to this set is that James genuinely doesn't like rehearsing. He gets he gets bored pretty easily, and he said yesterday, "Do you know what? I like this set so much I could play it twice."
Oh, there you go.
I did say that. I'm like a goldfish in a small goldfish bowl in the rehearsal room. I just start walking around.
Right, sure.
And he held his concentration for the full set.
Yeah, the second one was wandering around. It's not like yeah.
Busted's Charlie Simpson would also later appear during Funeral for a Friend's set. The Welsh legends replaced Bad Omens to headline the second stage, with Lucas Woodland once again rising to the occasion and uniting the entire crowd in song. The band told us a little bit about bringing Lucas on board and why it has made so much sense for the lineup.
We went in, we ran the set once, and then Lucas left the room, and all of us said pretty much the same thing: is that's what it used to feel like. That's what it felt like way back, you know. Obviously, Matt and Lucas are very different singers, but I felt the same way rehearsing with Lucas for the first time that I did rehearsing with Matt for the first time. You know, it was very natural and cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Better rehearsal space though.
Yeah, we got better gear now. But.
The biggest surprise of the weekend was a tiny secret set on Sunday from Parkway Drive, playing on the festival's smallest stage to an enraptured audience. Winston told us a little bit about why it was so special. I mean, back at Donington, that's always going to be a pleasure for a start, but also, I guess, quite nice for you for the first time in a long time, playing in a little tent that small. That's got to change the vibe a little
100%,
bit, right?
That was it. That's what it was all about. It was completely different vibe. Opportunity to do something like exactly what people aren't expecting.
Yeah.
Like the last thing people are expecting. But also, like, it just meant it was just vibe. The whole set ran on vibe, and it was just chaos from the start to the end.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Over on the main Apex stage, Sum 41 continue their final ever world tour, and of course had to include a stop at Donington, running through the hits as well as some cuts from their brilliant double album Heaven and Hell. Derek Wibley told us why he was so excited to finally be back at Download. Download's such a special place. I know you know just from growing up what a special place Donington is in general, like with the history
absolutely.
here. Gotta be a fun one to tick this one off on the final tour.
Yeah, right as we were pulling up about 20 minutes ago, I texted my manager back in the U.S. and I was like, I'm hitting sacred ground right now. Just arrived at Donington. So that's how much it means to us.
Oh, of course. No, it's so good. I mean, I'll tell you, the crowd is so excited already. It's been talk of the weekend because obviously we do know it's the final tour and your final appearance here. People getting excited, man. Like, what can you tell us about what you've been preparing for, I guess, these festival sets as part of the final run? Does that change at all compared to the headline?
Yeah, it does change a bit from the headline because I mean there's so many people here, right? And there's so many people for other reasons, not just you. So you really want to play songs that you feel like most people are gonna know. Right? You're not gonna go into the super deep cuts from like album 4.
Sure. Also on the Apex stage were Enter Shikari in perfectly energetic form as frontman Rao Reynolds fully embraced the muddy conditions, and the crowd went wild for closer A Kiss for the Whole World. We chatted with Rob and Rory ahead of the set about what to expect.
Choosing a set list is always one of the most difficult parts of our job, surprisingly, because especially the more albums that we put out, that means the more music we can't play because we only have a 60-minute set. So we have to really be careful about what we put in, and we try to make it a bit of a balance, you know, something from every album. And yeah, so we also want to make sure that they're songs that there's a good mix of sort of old ones that will please the older fans, but new ones that get us very excited and sound great and look polished and go along with the whole production that we've just been talking about.
Fresh from their Eurovision success, Bambi Thug returned to Download, having graduated from a slot in the Dogtooth tent in 2023 to a theatrical and spectacular main stage show. They talked us through the big moment backstage. Tell me a little bit about the production going into it, because I mean, without giving too much away, but there were bins involved. There was like all manner of amazing stuff. Like, tell me about the actual putting together, the kind of production aspects of what you just did up there.
So it's a lot of play with me and my choreographer and my other dancer, and we just were like, especially with the one with the bin, we just wanted to have fun. It's very much of an improv piece. That was our first time with the bin. We did it where the guys were just in trash bags as giant trash bags at the Czech Republic Rock for People the other day. So I was inside the bin being like, is this going to fall over? Is it not going to fall over? But it worked.
Amazing.
And yeah, I mean, like, it was a very whirlwind performance. Went through a lot of emotions.
No, I bet.
And just really grateful to have my team with me, and to be so accepted by Download again.
Absolutely. Polyphia also managed to bring some spectacle to their set on the Friday, with the heavens opening with perfect timing as the rain fell during the ever-popular Playing God. The guys reflected on the moment with us post-show. The weather worked for you as well. I felt like it was literally, as Playing God kicked off, like the rain started pouring in the most dramatic way. That's got to be a nice one.
I felt like God was smiling upon us the whole show, giving us sunlight, and then at the very end, he let it rain, almost like it was extra production.
Yeah, he just knew. He was like, you know what's going to spice this up just a little bit? Let's have the rain go. Let's have the rain go. Possibly the most anticipated set of the whole weekend was Limp Bizkit, with Fred Durst's crew pulling a massive crowd to their Sunday evening set. Opening and closing with break stuff, they ran through all of their biggest hits and even threw in their cover of The Who's Behind Blue Eyes for good measure. A joyous set that made 2024 feel just like 1999. And finally, closing out the weekend were Avenged Sevenfold in their third headline appearance at Download, giving UK fans their first chance to hear songs from the experimental and epic latest album, Life Is But a Dream. We spoke with Johnny about how they also integrated the visual style of the artwork for the album into their show's production.
I don't think it's too dissimilar to what we do on every album cycle. You know, we like to bring the new album with its, imagery and kind of bring somewhat of an immersive experience to the fan, right? To kind of bring him into more than just the music, the artwork that we put into it. We take time on everything that we do, and maybe that's why we take so long to release albums. But we take a lot of time. We take a lot of pride in it, and the visuals go hand in hand with it. And we want it to be an event where you're feeling, songs like, Mattel. We want to come into the Barbie world with us, and this one we have a great production team, and we were able to take it to another level, do some stuff differently. We've done a lot of different productions over the years, and we always try to outdo ourselves in ways and just make it different and more exciting in ways as well. I'm very proud of this cycle and what we've done with our production, and being able to bring that light to Life Is But a Dream.
Other highlights from the weekend include The Offspring returning to Donington with a hits-filled slot, Creeper bringing out dancers and some serious flames as they ran through cuts from latest album Sanguivore, and Scene Queen, who played maybe the biggest show of her life on the festival's second stage. You can see exclusive photos from all these sets and many more alongside in-depth reviews across Rock Sound's social channels. Plus, head over to our Download playlist to watch full interviews with all the biggest names on the lineup on YouTube. That was Download 2024. See you back there in 2025. I've been James Wilson Taylor, and this has been a Rock Sound News Update.